Week 1, people, it's finally here. Now, time for some picks. Okay, our first game is the rematch of the AFC Championship, Ravens-Chiefs. Just gonna say this, I have the Chiefs with the best record in the NFL this year, so yeah, I'm gonna go with them over the Ravens. Green Bay taking on Philadelphia in a game that's in Brazil where neither team is going to be able to wear green. Yeah. Nice job, NFL. Nice job. Give me Green Bay. Pittsburgh taking on Atlanta. For Atlanta, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. To me, it's playoffs or bust for this team this year. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, did a major revamp. I got them winning. Arizona taking on Buffalo. For Arizona, this is a team that could surprise some people. I don't think they're going to get to the playoffs or anything, but I think they could have some sneaky good wins this year. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they were replacing a lot of pieces that were lost in free agency, but I still got them beating Arizona. Tennessee taking on Chicago. Chicago, Caleb Williams, Roma Duzier, Keenan Allen. Hopefully the defense is as good as it was when Montez Sweat got there. And for Tennessee, Will Levis taking over as the starting quarterback. I'm going to go Chicago on this one, but this could be a game to watch. New England taking on Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, we don't know if he's actually going to play week 1 because he still wants that new contract and he might not play without it. For New England, they're starting Jacoby Brissett over Drake May. I'm going to go Cincinnati even without the possibility of Chase. Houston taking on Indianapolis. So, man, it could come down to these two teams for the AFC South. For Indianapolis, it's all about if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy and on the field. Meanwhile, for Houston, how do they follow up the surprise season that they had last year? We're going to find out. I'm picking them over the Colts. Jacksonville taking on Miami. Both these teams, they fell apart once December came around, and both of them actually signed their quarterbacks to long-term deals. And for Jacksonville, just having replaced Calvin Ridley with Brian Thomas, I'm going to go Miami because they're the ones at home. Carolina taking on New Orleans. For New Orleans, they've been stuck in this vat of mediocrity where they're not great where they can make a run, but they're not bad to where they're going to be picking in the top 10. And meanwhile, for Carolina, just don't be the worst team in the NFL. I'm going to say this one more time. Just don't be the worst. Going with the Saints. Minnesota taking on the Giants. For the Giants, I just don't see them being as bad as what people think that they are. I just don't see it. I don't see them as the worst team in the NFL this year. Minnesota lost J.J. McCarthy, and they just had a rough offseason. They really did. I'm going to go with the Giants. Raiders taking on the Chargers. Chargers, new head coach and Jim Harbaugh, new offensive lineman, new receiving core. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they are no longer there. We're going to see how this offense looks in week 1. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's the team that might have the worst quarterback room in the NFL right now. Because Gardner Minshew's starting and Aiden O'Connell's the backup. Give me the Chargers. Broncos taking on the Seahawks. Oh man, the two teams that were involved in the Russell Wilson trade, and he's no longer on the Broncos after 2 years. Anyway, Bo Nix is now the starter for the Broncos. Meanwhile, the Seahawks still have Geno Smith. Both these teams are looking for a turnaround for the Broncos. They haven't made the playoffs since that Super Bowl run. And the Seahawks, they were one of the more disappointing teams last year. Because of the 12th man, I'm going with Seattle. Dallas taking on Cleveland. For Cleveland, again, it's Deshaun Watson. This team is talented. This team could make a run, but Deshaun Watson has to do well. He doesn't have to recapture the glory that he had in Houston, but he's got to do something. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they lost a lot in free agency, had some off-season drama. We don't know what's going on with Prescott or Parsons, if they're going to be able to re-sign either of those guys. I'm going to go Cleveland. Washington, Tampa Bay. Washington, second overall pick. Jaden Daniels is the starter. Tampa Bay won the division again. I think they're the favorites to win the NFC South again this year. I'm actually going to go Tampa Bay over the Commanders. Rams, Detroit, rematch of the wild card round. For the Rams, tough loss with Aaron Donald retiring in the offseason. For Detroit, they're looking to show that last year was no fluke, that they are going to be here to stay. I say they started off on the right foot. Give me Detroit. And our Monday night game, Jets, 49ers. Aaron Rodgers coming off a torn Achilles 4 plays into last season, By the way, he's going up against the team that did not draft him first overall in 2005 and the team that was the Super Bowl runner-up. Can the 49ers avoid a letdown after that Super Bowl runner-up? Can they get the win? I say they do. Alright guys, those were my picks for week 1. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, I'll see you guys next time.